almost 10 days, and still there is no any response. Yesterday they have sent 10 buses, but today there is no anyone.
We head over now to Sudan. Time is of the essence there. The clock is ticking. There are still thousands of Nigerians waiting to be evacuated as the ceasefire is expected to wear out by midnight today, just in a couple of hours. So much has played out. The Nigerian government has paid monies to get Nigerians evacuated, and something quite interesting played out today, just when the first batch of Nigerians who were being evacuated were heading out of the country. We'd like you to take a listen and see what played out, and then we'll follow up with an update on the situation.
You can see some have even
before we started this journey, we have to go on several fighting. Can you even imagine that we are stuck in this desert for 5 hours?
We don't know what state we are.
Like we don't know the situation we have. We don't have water. Our money has finished. Can you even imagine? And they said the vehicle drivers, they said they are not moving their bus. They said they are not moving their buses because they don't give them money. Which type of attitude is this one? Look at this place. We're stuck in desert. We don't even have compass.
We don't know the way we are. We don't know the place we are.
Everything has finished. We are done.
We don't have anything. Everything has finished.
We don't have
No
bus, we
money,
don't have
no
anything.
food.
We don't have compass to even know our location. We're in an unknown environment with a very big danger.
Look at this place. All
Don't
those
take
sceneries,
us
we
to
don't
this
know
place.
them.
Why is Nigeria
Well, the chairman of Nigeria's Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabiri Erewa, who's also the CEO of that commission, responded to that video on Twitter, and she said that she had spoken with the National Emergency Management Agency, that's NEMA, and NEMA told her that the issues had been resolved and the journey has continued for those students whom you saw in that video right there. And subsequently, she gave a briefing to newsmen where she said that the Nigerians are expected in the country on Friday. And according to her, she said that 13 buses actually departed from 2 universities in Khartoum, that's the capital of Sudan, carrying Nigerian students at the Aswan border or to the Aswan border in Egypt, where they will be airlifted to Nigeria tomorrow. And she says that now they have a situation on their hands, as more Nigerians have now said they are interested in coming back to the country. We'll take a listen to her.
The journey is almost 28 hours if it's a straight journey. But in this case, they have to stop somewhere and all that. So we're hoping that they'll get into Aswan later this evening, but we're monitoring them. 13 buses left Khartoum yesterday from 2 universities, the African International University and I think Al-Khazar University. So 13 buses of about 60 people have already left, and by the grace of God, we're monitoring them and they're all good. I mean, it's not a very pleasant situation, but they also, mission officials are waiting for them at Aswan to receive them. And another set of buses, hopefully, when funds are released for them, because the transporters are insisting they want to collect their cash before they even load the next set of buses. So everything is being done by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, NEMA, to ensure that is done. So cheering news, no life has been lost, as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced yesterday, and our students are progressing to their destination in Aswan, Cairo. But so far, the Nigerian mission and the 3 missions are working together to ensure that our students are protected. Now, there's a little challenge. 3,500 students, yes, but Nigerians are now coming, without even any documentation. So now say they want to come back. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. Perhaps when we get all our data right, Sudan will probably be one of the areas where we have our largest diaspora population. So the mission is now being bombarded with people that never registered, that never showed presence, that now coming and say, look, they want to come. And as you said, the 72 hours is lapsing. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of desperation. So in fact, yesterday, in the evacuation, the mission was very strict, because people who never even showed up wanted to even chance the students. Some tried to jump into the window, so they had to stop a while and said, no, we have to be orderly. And they did it by now breaking them into various states with the list that they had. So let's just pray and hope that let's pray and hope that the ceasefire will become permanent season of fire. Who knows? There's been a lot of talks with the AU and the two warring factions, and there's nothing better than peace in all this situation.
So that was much earlier in the day during our breakfast program, Sunrise Daily. Lots of things have happened between then and now. So let's speak with one of the Nigerians still waiting to be evacuated in Sudan. Abubakar Sadiq joins us from the capital, Khartoum. Well, good evening, Abubakar. I imagine that you are in a state of perhaps despair, but maybe listening to the government, I wonder what you think. But I need to be sure that you're in a safe place so we can have this conversation. Are you safe? Can we do this now?
Yeah, we are safe now. We are safe.
All right, that's good to know. Sharing news. It's about, what, 4 hours to that ceasefire at midnight. Can you tell us, what is the situation there now?
Actually, during around 4 p.m. today, while we are at the camp waiting for the embassy officials to arrive, and there is no presence of the embassy officials at the camp, we were waiting for them since 6 a.m. early in the morning. There is no update from them until now. There is no update from the embassy. Around 4 p.m., while we were waiting for them, there was an airstrike around our camp. It's just 1 kilometer or less away from us. And it was a terrible experience, actually. Very terrible experience.
I mean, one can only imagine, which is why I asked about your safety, because I recall you telling us behind the scenes about that airstrike. But tell us about the situation there generally. I mean, I do not understand why there's still no information from government to you guys. But in terms of the situation, the ceasefire, just how well is it holding right now? I mean, 4 p.m. you heard the airstrike, but right now is the ceasefire still holding?
There is violation, actually. There is violation of the ceasefire. But for the past 2 days, actually...
well, this has become a common occurrence. The connection fades off and comes back. We understand the situation there as a bit unpredictable. So we'll try to get Abubakar Sadiq back to give us an update. And, I mean, the Nigerian government, of course, is listening as well, such that we can get these people out of Sudan in good time, safe and sound. So not to worry, we'll get connection back to Abubakar. But also earlier on, in terms of airlifting, the Nigerians in Sudan, or at least the ones that get out of Sudan to Egypt, the head of Air Peace spoke on what is expected to happen when the Nigerians leave Sudan. And this is what he had to say about airlifting Nigerians.
As I speak to you now, in the last 5 hours, our pilots have been ready, waiting to be given the go-ahead. The aircraft has already been positioned at the Murtala Mohammed Airport. You can go there and see for yourself. What is lacking is the landing permit from Egypt. Egypt is yet to give us the landing permit. The flight planners, the Air Peace flight planners, go back to us in the morning and said they declined. They said they will not. The kind of declined initially giving landing permit, say until that it has to be a diplomatic approval before they could grant it. They didn't decline, but that there should be a diplomatic approval. They needed the Nigerian government. So we called on the Nigerian government to get across to them. And the Minister of Foreign Affairs is on top of his game. He's doing that. And of course, our ambassador in Egypt, His Excellency Nura Abarimi, is doing a yeoman job there. He has been tireless. He has not slept in days now. He's been running around. I've just finished speaking with him some few minutes ago. And they're doing what they have to do. What we are waiting for now is the landing permit. The moment we get it, Air Peace will be airborne to Egypt. And what we are doing is to foster unity in our nation, foster love. And I don't like some of the things that I've been seeing online in social media in the past few days. This is meant to, create ethnic harmony in Nigeria, not to create disharmony. So I beg Nigerians to see this as a national call. I didn't ask anybody for money, and nobody offered me money. We're going ahead to get our fellow citizens evacuated. However, if the numbers become overwhelming, then of course, the government should set in to help offset the bill, because one man alone cannot carry it. Also, other airlines can join. It's not about Ananoemo and Air Peace alone. If the numbers become very overwhelming, then of course, it's no brainer that the government has to also step in to help.
Well, that's the Chief Executive Officer of Air Peace, Mr. Alan Onyema speaking there. Well, we have Abubakar back now. Abubakar, it's good to have you back, and I hope we can make the most of the few minutes we have together. So tell us, what information do you have about perhaps a time you will be evacuated right now? We understand the first batch has left, but when are you expected to leave?
Actually, there is no date. There is no date because we didn't receive any information from the embassy. And today also there is zero presence of the embassy. So we don't know actually. Right now, students are planning to gather their money to transport themselves and carry themselves to Egypt.
You were talking about the information you have gotten or otherwise from the embassy and the government. But tell us, how many people are left to be evacuated there now?
Actually, close 1,500 students from what we have counted earlier in the morning today. There is 1,500 students on the ground still.
How many have been evacuated so far?
Less than 600.
So you're saying the first batch that went earlier on had just less than 600 students on board those buses?
Yeah, less than 600 because every bus carries 49 students. So, and 13 buses left. So it's less than 600.
Tell us, what criteria was used in I didn't get that. What did you say?
I think the exact number of the students that left, 558 and 88, I mean.
568.
588.
Oh, 588. All right. So tell us, what criteria then was used in selecting those that went with the first trip? I mean, we saw videos of them saying the drivers stopped right in the middle, but let's talk about the criteria. Why did those ones go and you were not able to join the first batch, that is?
So actually yesterday, the criteria was to select some percentage from each and every state, like 20 people from Yobe, 20 students from Kano, the percentage, based on the percentage of the state associations, number of the state associations. So, and that criteria was abundant. It was only done for the first bus that was there. But for the second and third, to the rest of the buses, it's just the survival of the fittest. Whoever goes in first, he will not go out. There is no way he will go out. It is just the survival of the fittest.
Oh dear. I mean, one can only just picture that situation, things getting rowdy and people trying to just fight for their lives and their safety. But the people left, I mean, I'm sure you're trying to be strong. Do you have food? Do you have water? How are you getting by, really?
There is no food, actually. Some have food, but some don't. And even if you have food, you will not have the ingredients, the main ingredients. And right now in Sudan, 1 cube, can you imagine 1 cube of Maggi, they are selling it 50 Sudanese pounds, which is equivalent to 80 naira. 1 cube, just 1 cube.
So are you then
and even today?
Right, go ahead, please.
And even today, we bought just Coca-Cola, a can of Coca-Cola at the rate of 600 Sudanese pounds, which is equivalent to 900 to 1,000 Nigerian naira.
Oh dear. So are you getting any form of help then? Maybe from the embassy or any Nigerian representation there? Are you getting some sort of help, support? How has that been?
No, to be sincere, there is no any help from them. There is zero connection, no communication from them. No letter, no press release. They will not come to you and tell you some good words. Even if they are lying, we want them to come, but they will not come.
I just want to then find out, I know it's a very difficult period for you, and really I'd like you to know that we're here with you. Whatever help you need, we'll provide the platform so you can air the opinions and put out those information. But there are reports that drivers are still protesting, not getting their allowance. We saw one play out earlier on. Is that still ongoing? Has that been properly resolved?
Actually, until now, the students' passport, international passport, are with the drivers. Until right now, the students' international passport are with the drivers. They collected their passport until they are paid. That's why they proceed and carried on with the journey.
Until who paid? We understand the government is the one paying here.
Until they are completely paid. The drivers are not completely paid.
Oh, right, until the government completely pays them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why they took their passport.
Okay, Abubakar, I'll need to let you go in a moment. I think there's so much information out there now for the government to act on. But I don't know, for you, what does the future look like? With this conflict in Sudan, you have to return home under these circumstances. I imagine you went there to study in the first place. So, I mean, what does the future look like for you, seeing what is playing out?
Yeah, for me, alhamdulillah, I've graduated, but still I didn't collect my certificate. So that's the worst part. Have I gotten my certificate, I will come back and serve my country. But now, until this war is resolved, then I will come back and collect my certificate. So it's a terrible experience, actually.
So how is your family handling this then? I know there are lots of families in Nigeria, and I'm sure for your family, maybe they're excited even seeing you on television. But how have they been handling this in terms of information as well? Is there maybe a central information point where families can get information, and for you as well to get information?
Can you repeat yourself again?
I said that how is your family holding up on this one? I wonder if there's a central port where they can get access to information, that also you can get access to information, the right information, because we heard that there was talk about students, meeting at a certain place so they can pay $100 to leave, and the government said, well, they should discountenance that. So how do you get the right information from your family and for you as well?
So for my family, for me, I don't even tell them like the reality of the war, because like I want to protect them. Because you cannot just come and because they are really scared. Actually, they will call me 100 times per day, trying to reach out. What are the steps the government are taking? How am I feeling, and so forth and so on. So I cannot share some information with them.
Oh, that's understandable. I just want to know as well, the ceasefire that, well, both factions have agreed to. You said that they have been... The ceasefire, yes. You said that there have been breaches of that ceasefire.
Yeah.
What do you plan to do if, evacuation is not forthcoming? Maybe tomorrow, the coming days. What is your plan?
Yeah, the students right now are planning to gather some money and pay the drivers to carry us to to Egypt. So that's the plan on the ground. Tomorrow early in the morning, those students that paid their money will go on.
Is that what you're planning to do? And I wonder what route are you planning to take?
You said?
Is that also your plan? And what route are they planning to take?
No, for me actually now we are contacting our state government. It's your state government.
All right.
So we want to hear from them first before we carry on with our journey.
But I'd like you to know that I'm very sure that the Yobe state government and other governments are listening to this from state to the federal level. And thank you so much, Abubakar, for your time and for that information.
Yes,
and we wish you the very best. Please get back to us if you have any vital information or you have any needs that we can provide. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
Well, that's the situation of Abubakar and a lot of Nigerians still in Sudan.